Good evening. Welcome to the Spring-Ford Area School District Board of Directors meeting. Today is Monday, October 27th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Spring-Ford Board of School Directors believes the community has the right to bring before the board issues and concerns they may have about items on the agenda or about items in general which affect the district or their children. Because of this belief and philosophy, the board will schedule a time at the beginning and conclusion of every meeting to have an opportunity for community members to share their concerns with the board. At the start of the meeting, members from the public may comment on agenda items only. The school board will move through the meeting agenda, then at the end, when prompted, there will be a time for public comment. This meeting is being filmed to be broadcast on community cable channels and online. Individuals intending to make public comments should be aware that they are being filmed. Speakers will be asked to state their name and the area in which you reside before your comment.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending. Ms. Schmidt, can we have a roll call, please?
In person tonight, we have Mrs. Hermans, Mrs. Weingarten, Mrs. Deerdorf, Mr. Jackson, Mrs. Westwood. Online, we have Dr. Wright, and not present are Mrs. Goldsmith, Mr. Lackey, and Dr. Sharma.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Wright, I know, as always, this being a voting meeting, I will do my best to defer to you and make sure that we can hear your vote clearly. However, if you want to speak, feel free to raise your hand. I'm sure Rich will wave me down. Okay, as far as announcements go, I do not have any. Dr. Scanlon, do you have any?
No announcements, no.
Okay, then we'll just move on to public to be heard. This is on agenda items only, so if there's anyone that wishes to speak, please approach the podium with your name, township of residence, as well as the agenda item for which you are referencing.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Of course, you know why I'm here, so I won't take up too much of your time. I just want to ask you to please vote.
I'm sorry, just to stop real fast, name,
Excuse me, I'm so
organization,
sorry.
and which agenda item?
My name is Addie McGar. I am the branch manager of the Royersford Free Public Library, and I am looking at Section 7, Agenda Item R, the Royersford Free Public Library lease.
Thank you.
I apologize for that. I just want to ask you to please vote yes to the lease. This will allow us to apply for the Keystone 2026 grant for library facilities, which we will use to totally renovate the library, floors, windows, make it more energy efficient, and also cover some of the flooring that is almost 120 years old. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak? Okay. Moving on, we'll go to committee reports, and we'll start with Mrs. Weingarten at the Western Montgomery Career and Technology Center.
Thank you. The Western Montgomery Career and Technology Center, JOC, met on October 6th. Mr. Dave Livingood shared a presentation of the comparison of the 4 architectural firms that are submitting a proposal for an addition to the school. So let me back up a little bit. We're talking about an addition to the school very conceptually, what it would take, what it would cost, because I think you all remember one of the biggest issues we have is space. We are continually turning students away from programs that perhaps we could expand. So this is basically the first step of a long process of investigation and feasibility. So the following information was shared on each firm. Experience, specifically those who had career and technical education focus, their fees, their strengths, and their alignment to our RFP. He followed up with the stakeholder and community engagements, concerned the cost of the feasibility study for each of them. So this is a very big first step. Mr. Livingood also attended the adult education conference and realized he found it very beneficial. Dave also reached out to American Crane to see if they could provide us with any scrap metal, because we have, it's very expensive and we needed some. American Crane provided us with 5 pallets of steel valued at $3,000. So he is reaching out to a few other colleagues to see what else they can perhaps get donated. And this was kind of interesting. Dave feels we're missing student representation at our JOC meetings. So he was wondering if we were able to maybe have a junior member, like we do here, sit on the floor and join us for those. So that's something that we'll consider, I'm going to guess, when we realign in December. So that's pretty exciting. The local advisory meeting was held on October 23rd. I'll give you a report on that next month. They had PennDOT coming in to talk about partnerships. We will be holding meetings with trade unions. So this was a result of a conversation with our state representative, Joe Cerisi. He was there to talk to students about their concerns about the state budget. And so we're going to look into that more, and if it's something that comes to fruition, possibly be able to highlight those union logos so it can kind of give more places incentive to be a part of it. So it's really nice to hear that these outside agencies are coming to us because we've got great students, and it's a really nice handshake. Let's see. Oh, this is really neat. Mr. Livingood shared a press release about a state dinner to be held on February 19th with former White House Social Secretary Deisha Dyer. So that's going to be prepared by, it'll be a dinner prepared by the students in the way they prepare some of the White House dinners. So it's going to be pretty exciting and possibly fancy, if I remember correctly.
I think we did say if they were going to
be
go
a
in this
little
direction,
snazzy,
it should
yeah.
be black tie or black tie optional at the very
Yeah,
least.
so it's going to be like
We want to make the kids feel special.
basically like a actual state dinner at the White House. So it's really exciting for our culinary students. Mr. Craig Robinson said that the pre-NOCTI testing is complete and everyone was tested by September. And at their in-service day, which happened on October 13th, they're going to be going over the data. So I will probably have the data for that next month. And you may have noticed that there's an uptick in the Western Center's social media. Assistant Principal Kelly Calhoun has been posting something every day, and it's really done a lot for their channel. At the time, they had about 2,500 new followers, so that was pretty cool to see. And it's a great way for them to get the messages about their special events and student accomplishments out. So Representative Joe Cerisi, while he was there, he visited the culinary arts students and talked about our state budget and took a tour. Additional reports. Dr. Finnerty shared that because of the government shutdown, he's having difficulty processing the FBI clearances, which is making it difficult to bring in some of the new employees. And I think that's about it. It was a great meeting. Our next one will be on November 3rd at 7 o'clock at the Western Tech Center office. Any questions?
Just a couple, if I may. This conceptual approach to the building or renovation, is there some conceptual cost? And will that cost be broken down based on the percentages of how we funded the center in the past?
Yes, and it is so early that it's looking at things like how flexible could the space be, how would we use the space we have now. As you know, you can't just convert any space into a place where they do welding, you know. So it's very, very, very preliminary. So the answer is a very soft yes.
But that will also be dictated by who the Western Center decides to partner with as far as an engineering firm, which is like where we are in this stage of planning. So our next meeting, which Mr. Jackson, I would love to see you in attendance because
I said I would come.
and you said you would come.
Oh,
So
good.
we as a JOC have narrowed down the conversation to 2 different engineering firms, and they will be there to present some information to us.
Let them know I'm coming.
I will. I
Okay.
will. Be welcome.
So Clinton, that is November 3rd. 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Mrs. Westwood, Montgomery County Legislative Committee.
Yep. Good evening. The Montgomery County Legislative Committee met at the MCIU on Monday, October 6th. To start the meeting, we elected our new committee chairperson for the 2025-2026 school year, which is Rose Huber, who is the school board director in another neighboring Montgomery County district. First part of the meeting featured Shirley Howe and Parker Thomas from Children First. This is a newer group. It started last year. There was an update that was given about PA schoolwork reports with those of us that were present. The 2025-2026 Voices for Education program now has 11 participating districts, so it is growing in size. The Children First footprint is the 5-county region, so that includes Bucks, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, and Philadelphia. As I think a lot of people at this table know, at this time and still, there is no real movement on the state budget to report. That's something we continue to keep a close eye on. We had a conversation with Christopher Dormer, who provided the superintendent's and PASA report to the group. More discussion about the budget stalemate for the state, items that we may see in the school code, the operative word is may, cyber charter reform, which includes statewide tuition rate versus the PD 363 changes, flexibility on teacher certifications, possible information on structured literacy and cursive writing, and possible cell phone ban language. There is still a need to resolve the need for new revenue for the state. There was some open discussion, a variety of different topics were mentioned. I probably won't go into lots of this in detail, but some of it was how do we expand Voices for Education and get additional districts into the mix. There was some information shared about healthy start times. We have talked about that in the past at this table. And some different considerations, including childcare. PASA has a toolkit for restructuring the school day in a meaningful way for districts that they can review. There was a mention of bipartisan support for changes to standardized testing. I think that was most of what we discussed. The next meeting will be scheduled on November 5th at 6 p.m. and will be held virtually. Any questions?
I love that they're talking about healthy start times again.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Westwood. Is Mrs. Goldsmith, did she make it on Zoom at all? Mrs. Goldsmith? Is Mrs. Goldsmith on Zoom at all? No. Okay. So seeing as though she is not on Zoom, we will skip over the PSBA report, and we will also skip over the Spring City American Legion report from Mr. Lackey, and then we will move to our superintendent report.
Sure, thank you very much. Congratulations to the Springford High School football team for an exciting 14-10 win Friday night versus Upper Perk. They finished the league at 5-0, and they win the Pioneer Athletic Conference. They are now, they got their seedings earlier today. They are playing, I believe, Thursday night Downingtown West in the district playoffs. But there are some other teams that have had a successful fall. The high school girls soccer team finished the season at 12-1, and they also won the league title. They are hosting a play-in game on Tuesday, tomorrow, to qualify for the state tournament. So if they win, they will move on to the states. The high school girls volleyball team, they also won their league. They had a record of 20-0. That is almost unprecedented to do. They are currently entering round 3 of the districts. They are in the semifinals of the districts for District 1, which is pretty far deep to go. So I think by doing that, they've already qualified for the state tournament if they win or lose. But congratulations to all the teams and all the best to our student athletes as they compete in the district and state tournaments this fall. October 1st is really when we roll out our official enrollment for our schools. Just give the board some updates as we're teasing out all of our October enrollment, making sure we've accounted for transfers in, transfers out, new students, and just pinning it down. But here's what it looks like. Our total enrollment this year, 7,886 students. That is about 211 students fewer than last year at the same time. Most of those are in 2 areas. The high school, 9 through 12, is down about 111 students, and the K-4 buildings are down about 90 students this year. Many of those are kindergartners, which we have a very small kindergarten class coming in this year. 5-6 buildings down about 22, and 7-8 is about the same. It's up about 12 students. So there's the kind of the rounding of it, but basically we're down about a little over 200 students from last year. Capital planning update, you know that we're working through 3 scenarios for our capital plan. And as a reminder, we have scheduled a community forum on Wednesday, November 12th at 6 p.m. at the 8th grade center. Topics that we'll be reviewing are reducing the number of grade level transitions in our district, adding full day kindergarten, creating a middle school model for grades 6 through 8, balancing our elementary enrollment, and creating a 10-year maintenance plan for all of the buildings in the district. So there's a lot of moving parts to that, and we'll do all we can to explain how that's going and get feedback from our community. We sent notification to parents and staff, and we look forward to gathering in-person feedback about the options for a 10-year plan. Because there are so many pieces to this plan and it requires a significant amount of planning, and if the board approves a plan in March, we don't anticipate any changes in grade level configurations or feeder patterns for 3 or 4 years, because it will take that long to build the space as part of the plan. We've also scheduled meetings at each of our buildings to gather feedback from our staff. So we're going to begin those later this week up through the first week of December. It's a lot of buildings to get to, but we want to make sure that we involve our staff and hear from our staff on things that we need to consider before we bring a final recommendation to the board in March. Again, we anticipate those meetings to be completed by mid-September. Also, as we bring the month of October to a close, it's a reminder that our schools will be closed for students on Tuesday, November 4th, next Tuesday, but our staff will be participating in Professional Development Day that day. In addition, we're preparing for fall conferences on November 20th, 24th, and 25th. Our teachers and principals and building administrators will be coordinating schedules for parents to set up times to meet with parents about student progress so far this year. And it's really hard to believe that we are a quarter away through the year, and Thanksgiving is right around the corner. And finally, as was mentioned, we have a superintendent search underway, and I'd like to ask 2 of our high school students, Foster Stewart and Chase Seidner, to provide an update to everyone, something that they just did recently last week. Take a look at this video.
Hello, Springford, and welcome to the weekly update. The search for Springford's next superintendent is well underway.
Well, what about me, Foster?
Well, and the district is entering a stage where input from parents, students, and community members will help shape the profile of the next district leader.
Community feedback is essential to this process, and everyone, from parents to retirees, is encouraged to share their perspectives and priorities as the search moves forward.
The district is partnering with the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit to lead a nationwide search. Through an input survey, your response will help develop a leadership profile that will guide the selection of the next superintendent. This survey should take 10 minutes or less to complete. All responses must be submitted by November 3rd, 2025, and will be anonymous. The survey results will be presented to the board and used to develop a comprehensive superintendent profile.
In addition to the input survey, 2 virtual listening sessions to share your thoughts with the MCIU. Each session will be facilitated by representatives from the MCIU who will guide the discussion around qualities, experiences, and values the next superintendent should bring to the Springford community. 2 community sessions will be held today. The first was at 9 a.m. and the second at 4 p.m.
The timeline for the search will take Springford through February, when the board hopes to appoint the new superintendent of schools. Between now and then, there will be a deadline for interested individuals to submit their application and multiple rounds of interviews.
Your voice matters. Let's show the power of Springford community. Join us and share your ideas, thoughts, and feedback. Have a great week, Springford.
Yes, have a great week, Springford.
Thanks, Chase and Foster. They did a much better job than I could with that superintendent search. So they've outlined the process. It's underway. Those community focus groups took place last week. So the IU has gathered a lot of input. And the couple of months that I've been here, I will tell you that this is a wonderful place to educate children, a wonderful place for parents to raise their kids, as you all know that. And I think you will get some very qualified candidates for the position. So all the best in the search.
Thank you, Dr. Scanlon. I love that video. I think sometimes it resonates when it comes from a different voice and an unexpected voice. I love that it's coming from our students, so it's amazing. All right, any questions or comments? All right, Mr. Fitzgerald.
I have no report this evening.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll move on to a voting portion of our meeting. As the community knows, if you've attended a voting meeting before, we've discussed these action items in committee as well as the work session, but if there are any outstanding questions, feel free to separate the items out. So we'll start with Section 5, letters A and B. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Okay, questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Dr. Wright, what's your vote?
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries 6-0. Moving on to personnel, letters A through H. I'll give you a moment to see if you want to separate anything. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second? Questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Dr. Wright?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to Section 7, Finance, letters A through T. Is there a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Questions and discussion?
I
All
have a
those in
point.
favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Dr. Wright?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to programming and curriculum, we have 3, letters A through C. Is there a desire to separate? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Questions and discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Dr. Wright?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to other business. Letter A is his first read. So we're taking Section 11, B through G. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Questions and discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Dr. Wright?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. And that takes us to an informational item on on tenure, and then, of course, board comment. So I'll defer to the table. Actually, maybe I'll first defer to Dr. Wright since she's on Zoom if she has any board comment tonight.
No comment, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone at the table have comment? Okay, I have 3. Sorry, I'm gonna make it up. So first, I just want to give a shout out to all of the members of the Avidium Club, and in particular, their advisors, Mrs. Anderson, Mrs. Bogus, and Mrs. I'm not as familiar at the 9th grade center, so I apologize if I mispronounce. I think it's Mrs. Fritz, who so graciously helped coordinate in order for the board. As some of you may know, there were shirts on sale. Some of the board members are wearing them today. On the back, although it's cold, which is why you can't see, we're all wearing shawls. It says, "You matter." And it just goes to really reinforce the importance of mental health and the work that the Avidium Club does in terms of promoting togetherness and building interpersonal skills and relationships among our community. So I want to thank again our advisors as well as the students for all they do. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I actually received an email, and I'm going to pull it up here. Actually, it was forwarded to me from Mr. Fink because I did not directly receive it, although it was from a member of the community, a parent in Upper Providence, that I had the opportunity to interact with. Just by chance, I had pulled over on the side of the road and for a personal matter, and this individual, it was right around bus drop-off time, around 4:15 in the afternoon, got out of his car and approached me and introduced himself. And so he is a parent, of a child in the Oaks Elementary School, and he had written in a few times about transportation, and it was great to put a face to the name. We had a really great conversation around, ways to engage the board and just overall kind of his experiences in the school district. And in particular, I do want to comment one thing from this email that he sent to, well, not me, but sent to administration that was forwarded to me. And it says, quote, Mrs. Hermans and I shared a positive exchange about engaging with the school board from different perspectives. In that same spirit, I recognized the driver of bus 641, known only to me as Rich, for consistently going above and beyond for his young passengers. Although brief, this chance meeting was a meaningful moment to connect faces with names. And I just wanted to say, for as much as we hear about transportation issues, I mean, it was just really refreshing to hear this parent who has, of course, shared some feedback with us as well, have a great dialogue and share feedback around one of our bus drivers. So I don't know Rich, bus number 641, but I'm looking at Mr. Fink in the back, and I'm hoping that feedback can get to him. So, thank you. And then lastly, I know that we have some Music Association parents in the room. I did have the opportunity to see the broadcast on 6ABC, and just want to say kudos to all of you and your students. It was, no surprise that the interaction, the event, it made, shine a light on, the best of this school district. So thank you for always embracing and, promoting the musical talents within your students, and thank you for all you do in supporting the Music Association. So appreciate you. I think that's my 3. I said I had 3. Any others? Okay. Well, if not, then we'll move on to public to be heard. And this can be on any topic. So if there's anyone that wishes to speak, please approach the podium with your name and township of residence.
Christina Sergio, Spring City, PA. So good evening, board members, superintendent, administrators, and guests. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. I'm the president of the Springford Music Association. The Springford Music Association is a 501c3 nonprofit that supports every music program within the school district: band, choir, and orchestra, all from elementary school through high school. Each year, our volunteers contribute over 5,600 hours and 6,000 miles transporting instruments, props, equipment to performances and competition. Our commitment continues to grow. Over the past year, our budget has increased by 10%, yet our transportation costs have risen over 55%. We will continue to work with, we keep up with the work of the equipment and the needs and all the events. This season, transportation has become our greatest challenge. Our parent volunteers tow 2 large trailers, 26 and 30 feet long, weighing up to 9,700 pounds when loaded, plus a rented box truck. Until this fall, we coordinated with the district to borrow school-owned vans to tow, and we rented additional vehicles at the expense of the SFMA. Mid-season, that arrangement had changed. The vans were no longer available, and we were directed that the school was going to rent some heavy-duty trucks from a location 30 minutes away. While we appreciate the focus on safety, this has created a major logistical strain. Our band director, Mr. Walls, now spends hours of his week arranging rentals. Staff and parents must leave work to pick up and return the trucks. This is just not sustainable for our volunteers or our educators. And it impacts more than just the performance. Our music students support athletics, faculty events, and community celebrations, and it showcases the Springford pride across the region. Strong music programs attract and retain families and make it a vital part of what makes Springford a destination for excellence. Tonight, we're asking the school district to partner with SFMA to create a district-supported transportation plan that ensures safe, appropriate vehicles, adequate support for our students alongside other extracurriculars. We are eager to collaborate on a sustainable solution whether that's a dedicated vehicle that provides our volunteers for drivers or reliable rental partnerships. I have some handouts here today that provide several possible solutions and next steps for you to consider. Music education builds confidence, discipline, teamwork, qualities that last a lifetime. With your support, we can continue to provide those opportunities safely and proudly. Thank you for your time today, your service, and hearing our concerns.
Thank you. And as far as the handouts go, this is the first time that we're hearing about this, so I'll just say that Dr. Scanlon will be in touch, and anything that needs to be forwarded to the board, you'll forward to us?
Yes, we are aware with some of our transportation issues with some equipment that is being repaired and some of the size of those trailers, and we are trying to make arrangements, and we are looking at a more permanent solution as well. But I'm happy to talk to you about that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else wish to approach the podium?
Hello again. Addie McGar, Royersford Free Public Library Branch Manager. First of all, thank you so much to the board, the operations department, Mr. Fink, for all the work that went into voting in this new lease for the library. We are extremely grateful for the opportunity that you have now given us to improve our building, so thank you so much. As far as things going on at the library this month, I have 3. Our affiliate food pantry, Project Outreach, and the Boy Scouts will be accepting donations starting on November 15th, all day until 6 p.m. I encourage everyone, if they have any sort of shelf-stable products, so boxes, cans, and then also paper products, if you have the ability to donate, please do. They're very cognizant of the food insecurity that folks may be facing because of the government shutdown. Also on November 15th, we will be having a table at the Women's Club of Royersford Annual Bazaar. We will be selling Royersford Library t-shirts and books, so please stop by and say hello. And then finally, on November 22nd, we are celebrating Roy's birthday. For those of you that do not know, Roy is our bearded dragon that lives in the library. He is beloved by the community. Many people come in to see him and say nothing to us. We're okay with that. We know where we stand. So come in on the 22nd, celebrate his 2nd birthday with games, food, prizes, and Roy will even have a small cake to eat. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share tonight, and have a lovely evening.
Thank you very much. Okay. Does anyone else wish to speak? If not, motion to adjourn? So moved.